So let's continue with the third exercise. This is selling a put. It's going to be a bit different to what we had before. It's again the same file. It's over here. I just changed that. Before we were buying a call, buying a put, and now we are selling a call. Sorry, we are selling a call. I'm going to keep the same data, the same strike 25, the same premium 0.5. But now the perspective is totally different. Now we are selling a call. So before we were the buyers, we were the ones who were deciding what to do. And when we had a call or a put, but here is different. Here is going to be selling the option. So if you sell the option, you don't have the right to choose. The person who is going to choose is a person who buys the option. So you just need to obey. So here the logic is different. Instead of deciding what to do, you just need to obey whatever the other person is going to do or decide, sorry. So let's do the exercise. Let's go step by step. I hope it gets clear. So in the first part, the first line, it's going to be the same. Why? Because we have the same strike and we have the same premium. So as always, put the strike in the middle and then move to the right or to the left, the premium. Then we need to account for the premium, and here's when it gets a bit different. Here, the premium, it's going, if we sell something, do we receive payment or do we need to pay? Well, usually we receive the payment, right? So that's what's going to happen in here. If we are selling the call, the premium is for us. So the premium is going to be accounted as plus 0.5. I changed the graph a little bit. Sorry, I keep the graph. The only thing that I changed is that I kept the total. That's why it's going to change, but wait until we finish. So I kept this operation like that, so it gets easier. So the premium is going to be positive because we are selling the option, right? So the other person is giving us 50 cents for that option. But now things are going to be different because in the exercise or not, the person who decides to exercise is the other person, the one who bought the option, not me. So the other person has a right to say, yes, I want to buy the dollar from you because the other person has the call. So that person can say, yes, I want to buy, because that's a call, the dollar with you at 25, or if I don't want to, I just go to the market, okay? So let's do an analysis in here. So the first thing that you need to think when you answer to the exercise or not line is that the person who decides to exercise or not is the other one. So if the other one decides not to exercise, we're going to write a 0. So let's do the analysis. Think like if you are the other person, the person who bought the option. Think like if you are the person who can decide to buy the dollar in the option or in the market. So the question is, will that person prefer to pay 23.5 for a dollar in the market or 25 in the option? Well, the answer will be that person will prefer to pay 23 in the market. That means no exercise. And no exercise means 0, okay? I hope you are okay. So let's continue. Then the next step, 24 is the same answer, right? The person will prefer to go to the market, which is no exercise. That means 0. 24.5 is the same. And into 25, because it's the same, that person wouldn't care, so I write a 0. 25 is the same as the strike, so it's the same, it's 0. At 25.5 is different because at 25.5, that person doesn't want to pay 25.5 in the market if that person has the option to pay only 25 with me. So that person will say, yes, I want to exercise my option. And if that person exercises the option, is that good or bad for me? It's going to be bad, right? Because I have to sell my dollar at 25 to that person, even though that I could be selling my dollar at 25.5 in the market. It's like an opportunity cost. That's why I need to account for a loss. 0.5 negative. Okay, so it is a loss of the difference between this and this. Let's continue to the next column. At 26, the person will say 26 is the price of the dollar in the market, but I have the option of paying 25 with you. So I will exercise, and then the difference is going to be a loss for me because it's not good that that person exercised the option. So it will be -1. And finally, in the last one, it's going to be the same case. That person will prefer to exercise the option. And when that person exercises the option, it gives me a loss of 1.5. Then the total is automatically calculated because I already had the formula. So the graph looks like this. I hope that you understand how selling a call works. Remember, first you need to account for the premium as positive because since we are selling, we are receiving the premium. And then in the exercise or not, we need to think first like the person who has the option. And then if that person decides to exercise, we need to account for the loss. Then let me write down the analysis for this part, the graph. The first thing that I need to note is the break-even point. That is the first thing that I always ask, break-even point. I wrote it the other way around. I need an arrow. But so, I'm sorry, I was doing a mistake. The break-even point is the point where I don't make a profit. So the break-even point will be in here. Okay. And it's clear. It is the 25.5. That is the break-even point. Then at the money, it's going to be the in the strike, or where I don't care if I use the market, well, not me. If the other person doesn't care to use the market or to use the option, or it is the same as the strike, so it is 25. Then the next thing that I need to account will be in the money. The happy side of the graph, in this case, is on the left, because this part is when we have profits, right? The left side. And out of the money will be the sad part of the graph, which in this case is the right. Again, as you see, it really moves around, right? So you need to analyze each graph independently. Try not to memorize left, right. It doesn't really work. So out of the money in this case is on the right. So this is the analysis of selling a call. In the next video, we're going to do the final combination, which is selling a put.